Thank all of you for being here tonight. Thank you to those who phoned in for me. First of all, does somebody want to share with the group? I'm a teacher, so this is what you are going to get called on. Does somebody want to share with the group why I am for Medicare for all? It's one of my campaign slogans. Yes.
Because no one should. Oh my God!
This is what happens in class. This is what happens. It happens all the time. But I'm patient. I have wait time. Al's got it.
No one should die because they're poor. No one should be poor because they're dying.
There you go. That's why I'm running, and you guys are why I'm running. Because like Bernie Sanders said, and like other people before him have said, Martin Luther King, FDR, people up at the top don't change because they don't need things to change. I'm convinced that if Chuck Schumer had a family member who was a dreamer, or a family member who is in danger of losing health care, I have a feeling that he would have been using his power, his considerable power, a lot more aggressively than he has. But when you're in power, you're insulated. And that's why I love this group, Our Revolution. Because when I signed up for Our Revolution, I made a commitment. And it is not only my job, if I win, to live up to my commitment, it's also your job to hold me to my commitment. Because all of us are fallible, and anybody who gets power has insulation from real life. So my goal is to help this movement, to strengthen it, because you guys are there to hold people accountable, to start a real organic movement within the communities. So if you talked to me 20 years ago, you would have been talking to what most people would probably call a fundamentalist. I thought I was pro-life. I thought 20 years ago, and I'm ashamed to say it, growing up in Martin, in Hall County, in Franklin County, I thought homosexuality was a sin. I thought that women should obey their husbands. But I thought those things not because they were my thoughts. This was before the internet, by the way. So you'll have to forgive me. When my brother and I got in fights about things, there was no Google to settle the fight. We just kept fighting. The fight just kept going on and on for days. No way to verify it. So you'll have to forgive me if I grew up with the wrong ideas. I did. But people don't choose the family they're born into. People don't choose the society they're born into. People don't choose the culture they're born into. I didn't choose my accent or my skin color or the financial level that I was born at. I didn't choose any of those things because we don't choose the world we're born into. Nobody even asked to be born. But we do choose the world our children will be born into. We do choose the society we're going to die in. And that's one of the reasons, after seeing Bernie Sanders run and seeing his bold progressive platform, that's one of the reasons I'm running today, is because he helped me believe that you can actually run on a bold platform and start a peaceful revolution for the 21st century. So today I'm running partly on the national debt. Now I know a lot of you are going to be surprised about that, a Democrat running on the national debt. You might remember in a long ago, faraway place called 2012, when the Republicans cared about the national debt. They used to have a clock. Do you remember the clock? The debt clock was running. Reagan, of course, started the debt clock, but they didn't mention who set the debt clock going. But I'm wondering where the debt clock went. Has anybody seen it?
No.
I saw it go up $1.5 trillion, but the clock wasn't there to help me see what it looked like in real time. It's broken. But looking at that's the wrong scale. Well, looking at at that debt clock, thinking about the memory of that, and then this past week seeing 17 so-called Democrats cross over to deregulate the very banks that drove our economy into the ditch 10 years ago. Some people are calling this a moderate move. They're in purple states, after all. Let's go easy on them. People, voting to deregulate $250 billion banks is not an ideological vote. That is an I need money vote. Let's be honest. That's why I'm part of this group, because I'm not running just to get power. Anybody can get power. Trump can get power. The pendulum swings, and mere power will land on anybody. who happens to be in the right place at the right time. But I believe that if we want to see change, we have to not let the Democratic Party be a traditional party, but make it what it has been at its greatest. Lyndon Johnson was personally an incredibly racist man. He did not sign the Civil Rights Act because he was a nice guy and loved people of color. He signed it because the people demanded action and demanded change, and they used the Democratic Party as a vessel for their will. And that is the only reason I'm running in the Democratic Party, because I believe that at its best moments, the Democratic Party has been there as a voice for the people. What is our actual national debt? For those 17 Democrats and the whole gaggle of Republicans, their debt is actually to lobbyists and to the banks and to whoever comes up with the money to pay them. Those same people who say we can't afford living wages, we can't afford to pay for education or health care or pay taxes, but then when election season comes around, suddenly they locate that money. It was hiding all along and they find it because they want representation without taxation. We fought a revolution over taxation without representation. So what is our actual national debt? Well, here's what I believe. I believe that the strong owe a duty to the weak. I believe that the healthy owe a debt of help to the sick. I believe that the rich owe a duty to the poor. Because let me tell you, Jeff Bezos did not work 52 billion times as hard as the people packing up his shipments for poverty wages. He is not 52 billion times as smart as the Chinese worker who's building those cheap electronics. Jeff Bezos owes a duty to this country. You cannot come and thrive in our society where you couldn't in many other societies and choose not to give back to that society you're profiting off of. The rich owe a duty to the poor. I'm running because a real revolution of the people would show just what a real national debt is, and that truly is a debt of people living today to the people of the future. A cleaner world, a healthier world, a prosperous world. Thank you for joining me in this revolution.